Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Dr. Stephen Roth, and I'm a board-certified oral and maxillofacial pathologist. In honor of the frozen tundra that is the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic, I will be reviewing the frozen section as part of my Path101 series. This video will discuss what a frozen section is, when we use it, and show you footage of an actual frozen section specimen, including gross examination, cutting the tissue, and staining the microscope slide. But before we get into it, just a few quick disclaimers. First being that all of the opinions expressed in this video are mine and mine alone, and do not represent any organization that may employ me or that I may belong to. And that the second is that this video is not intended for medical advice. Should you have any questions or concerns about your oral or systemic health, please see your nearest oral or systemic healthcare provider. Before getting into frozen sections, this video may be a little technical. It may be helpful to review my How a Slide is Made video first, which discusses how a formalin-fixed paraffin-embedded slide for routine reading is processed, so that you have a basic understanding of routine processing before we discuss the differences with frozen sections. Frozen section diagnoses are done at the time of an operation. This means that the patient is still under anesthesia and in the operating room with the surgical team awaiting results. It is therefore super important to perform this procedure as quickly and accurately as possible. There are a few scenarios where frozen section is utilized. The first is when there is some sort of lesion that is difficult to biopsy, and the surgeon would like to diagnose the lesion to better understand how to proceed. In oral pathology, a good example of this would be a giant cyst with an impacted tooth. If the cyst is just a dentigerous cyst, the surgeon may proceed with full enucleation or removal of the cyst and may or may not place bone graft. If the cyst is an odontogenic keratocyst, or OKC, the surgeon may perform an additional step, like using 5-fluorouracil or cryotherapy to try to prevent recurrence of the cyst. If the result is a tumor, like an ameloblastoma or myxoma, the surgeon will likely stop the procedure and do more surgical planning. Another use of frozen section may be determining if a cancer has been fully removed by looking at the margins, or tissue around the cancer. Making sure there is no cancer left at the time of surgery can be very important, as patients with a margin-negative surgery often have better outcomes than those with cancer left behind. A final use of the frozen section may be determining if the surgeon has what we call lesional tissue. The patient may have a very small or hard to reach tumor, and tissue is needed either for diagnosis, removal, or genetic testing. Knowing that they have lesional tissue can help either establish a diagnosis as before or determine genetic malformations that may help with targeted chemotherapy. Having sufficient tissue for these tests is critical. There may be other niche cases, but for the most part, these are the reasons a frozen section diagnosis may be utilized. So you may be thinking, this sounds super helpful. Why not just do this for every cancer? And there are a few reasons. The first is that some tumors do not require surgical intervention. Having a diagnosis beforehand minimizes the risks of anesthesia in patients that may have never needed surgery in the first place. Another is that these slides are frozen rather than fixed in formalin. If you think about the composition of our cells, they consist mostly of water. When water freezes, it expands, which can distort the tissue, making it hard to read or determine nuanced diagnoses. Sometimes pathologists will even defer a diagnosis, meaning they want to wait to see the tissue once it's fixed in formalin to determine what is going on. So, let's take a look at a real frozen section that I performed. This frozen was for a cancer operation to determine negative margins. The first step in a frozen section is the first step when we receive any specimen, the gross examination, or the examination of the entirety of the specimen on a large scale. I have a whole video where I discuss the grossing process that I'll link down below, but basically we describe what we see and take measurements before we take samples. Part of the grossing process is inking the margins. By painting the margins different colors, we can identify the true surgical margin under the microscope and know what direction we're looking at. Next, we place the tissue on a flat metal disc covered in a special medium that freezes quickly. It starts as a gel and then becomes essentially a block of ice very rapidly. We orient or lay out the specimen in the way that we want to examine it and then cover it with the freezing material so that it becomes buried. We cut into that buried specimen until we reveal the tissue. We then carefully take a thin ribbon of the specimen with the medium and place it on a slide. We then place that slide into alcohol to help with fixation. The medium will mostly melt away once it enters room temperature, and the alcohol helps to wash away the rest. This will also make sure that the tissue remains stuck to the slide. Normally, when we have our routine process slides covered in my other video, we have a machine that does our staining and cover slipping. However, this machine can take 45 minutes to an hour to complete its task, and that is time that we do not have in a frozen section. So instead, we hand dip our slides in our stains. We start with 1 minute in hematoxylin and move it along the other solutions of alcohol, water, and other fixatives with 30 seconds in eosin and continuing with our washes. Once the slide is stained and we place a glass cover slip to protect the tissue on top, we can look at the slide under the microscope. We then report what we see and document it both on paper and by speaking with the surgeon directly, either by entering the OR or by calling the surgeon over the phone. When we call the surgeon, we make sure that they repeat back what we've said so we know that they heard our diagnosis and understand what we saw. All of this is meant to be fast-paced, and the maximum amount of time per section is 20 minutes, though in reality, it is much quicker when working efficiently. Once the frozen section has been communicated to the surgeon will finish their procedure and submit the remainder of the tissue in formalin for final diagnosis. I discussed these surgical reports in my cancer reporting video, which I've linked down below. The final report contains both the frozen results and the permanent formalin results. The frozen section specimen is also placed in formalin once it's done, and an additional slide is cut just for confirmation. Well, there you have it, the frozen section diagnosis. I hope that you found this video informative, and if you have, please give this video a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and share with someone who may find it helpful as well. Doing just one of these things helps the channel reach a wider audience to raise awareness and inform everyone about the importance of oral pathology. Thanks again for watching, and be well.